Hi everybody, just a quick, let's say explanation, not explanation, but anyway, it's just saying how do I manage my bees and how do I'm planning to manage my bees for the future. Bees will be always on 11 frames during the season and get to the autumn. Now what I could do is take these 3 frames or 4 frames, 3 frames. I can take 3 frames out of stores, leave the rest of the brood and stores, and work as an 8 frame nuke. I can put a division board, all right, to fill up this space, and then put a frame, frames that I would extract and put them there, or can even be frames with foundation. Get to the springtime, either this colony can be sold and the rest of the frames can be given to the to other colonies, or if not, depends on the workload, I can give them either their own frames for them to fill up and develop, or if I have too much workload and I cannot keep up with the work, instead of giving their own frames, I can give them just foundation, just plastic foundation, and then they would have take the division board and they will have 3 frames to work. That way I buy time and I can manage more colonies. So that's my base. Like I said, gets to the autumn, division board, three and 3 frames of foundation, and I'm doing some kind of insulation, or I can even get a frame that I can have bubble wrap all around it, aluminum bubble wrap around the frame, push it against all the other frames, and that keeps the nuke, the rest of the bees warm, and of course it will take also insulation on the top. That way, like I was saying, get to the spring, I have more time to manage the colonies. And of course, going to overwinter with 8 frames is much better than 6 frames. Like I was saying, people that, for example, have a job and don't have so much time to get to the bees, this is a very good system, having on 8 frames with space for 3. And you're only working with hives. Later, if you decide not gonna make a split, not gonna sell it or something, you can always put another box on top, and it goes into honey production. So just one type of box, only one type of frame, and we don't need many nukes, because you can even have boxes like this divided in half, good boxes that you can have 2 nukes in it, and 2 entrances. If you do the floors, with 2 entrances. That way, again, the same box being used on the whole system, and that's how I want to work. Now I have my nukes. I have too many nukes. I'm going to keep them. They will be for honey, not sorry, for queen rearing, because I have them. But if I would go back in time, I would have bought much less nukes, because that way we are working always with one type of box, and less equipment, with floors and roofs, and always working with one system. A nuke doesn't work somehow, and when you use the frames, and you can even use the box, put it on top as a super. You can always be moving around. So that's a system that I'm setting up. I've been setting up for the past 2 years. This season worked very, very well. And this is an example that I took 2 frames of brood just before we had that drought, when it stopped a little bit nectar flow, and they've drawn the 2 frames. Now we're going to have a bit of nectar flow again, and the ivy. If I wasn't taking the frame out of brood to make splits, I would take 1 or 2 frames of stores, give them 2 frames, and they will be on 8 frames, 9 frames, and 2 frames to draw. Well, different people, different ideas, but well, that's the way I work.